Hey. S3EP40 here. It's Tuesday and you know what that means, right? It's time for another show. We already know it's in the Nedbank Cup final. Blue and yellow against black and white. Jose against Rulani Moegoe 2.0. I'm excited. But the question I have for you is, who needs the trophy more? Tell me in the comments. Let's go.
That's how it goes?
They keep asking about the best when they know it's me.
Okay.
Asking about the rest when they know it's me.
Straight in, I guess.
You know it's me.
The Spanish guitar versus the tactician. I told you guys outside that I was excited for this game. It's the final game of the season, 1st of June. It's the final trophy that a team gets to play for. And let's be honest, guys, we didn't want Chipa there. We didn't want Stellenbosch there. And they were great competitors without a shadow of a doubt. But this is the final we really wanted. But I sat back and thought, who needs it more? Right? Like, who needs the trophy more? Is it Rulani who needs it more? Is it Jose who needs it more? I'm looking at Rulani and I'm thinking, great, you've got the league title. You got the AFL, the African Football League. Great, you qualified Mamelodi Sundowns to the Club World Cup. The next one, we're going to be there. But you got knocked out of the MTN8 by Orlando Pirates. You didn't win the Carling Cup. And as well as the big Champions League. And how you got knocked out of that too. And I'm looking at the investments made by Mamelodi Sundowns. The squad that they have, guys, is not PSL standard, guys. This squad is being built to compete for bigger things, and which is the CAF Champions League, no doubt. I mean, I think Sundowns could go into some leagues in Europe and actually compete with that squad that they have. I'm not talking about the big five, so relax. Somewhere down there, for sure. And if we're being honest, that's the standards that Pep and Manchester City are set by. Seeing that we're always having to make references about Pep, right? But also Jose Lue. Now, like, you're not out of the woods yet. It's not like it's like you just like run away with it and all that stuff. You already have a trophy in the bag, the MTN8 sharp. But you didn't win the Carling Cup, and as well as you got knocked out early in the Champions League by joining Galaxy. And on top of that, you're struggling to make second. So it's not over for you yet too. So which of the two managers needs it more? I know you're probably going to scream at the screen and say it's going to be Jose who needs it more because he only has one trophy. Rulani's got two. But I actually think it's Rulani. I think Rulani needs this trophy more. And I say this because I think Jose is safer than what Rulani is at this moment. When they got knocked out of the CAF Champions League and the way Rulani sounded, even after the Nedbank Cup tie over the weekend, reeling. I'm still reeling of being knocked out. I'm telling you, man, there's conversations that were had at Sundowns that I don't think were very pleasant. And because of the investment that's made to the squad, Rulani has to stat pad with these domestic trophies. And when I say stat pad, you got to keep on winning them, bruh. Because when you go and negotiate at the end of the season, when they say, why did you not win the CAF Champions League after we spent $2.5 million on players in South America, you got to tell them, I won the league and I won the Nedbank Cup and I won the AFL. He's got to do that. Whereas Jose, on the other hand, I think he's bought himself a lot more time. And I think Orlando Pirates fans will give him a lot more time. And to be fair, Rulani, your process from Beaton Sumane, from co-coaching with Moegoe, is further down than what Jose's one is. So who needs it more, S3EP40? I say Rulani Moegoe needs it more. She's a presenter. She is an award-winning broadcaster, a super sport anchor, over 20 years in the business. Mpho Maboi. She's here. Yeah, she's here. I picked up the phone and I gave her a call. And we spoke and we chatted. And I asked her, are you confident in the next generation of broadcasters that are coming? We have another big guest on Playing the Field of Chicks. Now, this is a guest that I do highly respect, a presenter and an award-winning broadcaster. She's an anchor as well. I mean, she does emceeing, and I have to tell you, she's done this for over a decade. Mpho Maboi, how are you?
2 decades. Please, let's get that right.
Hey! Hey! I'm glad you got that right.
Greetings, Jakes. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm doing really well. I was actually sitting here thinking by myself that, like, when was the first time I ever heard Mpho Maboi and sports together, I think I must have been in high school or primary school. And I was listening on the radio. That's how long you've been doing it for.
Right? It feels like forever. I always chuckle when I hear people say, I was listening to you growing up. I'm like, what do you mean? like I'm not that old, but yeah, it is what it is.
I can imagine. And look, we're coming obviously to the end of the season, and the break is coming around. Are you looking forward to that break from a broadcasting point of view?
I am looking forward to the break, but at the same time, I'm feeling a bit sad because I feel like the end of the season has been so exciting. You know, I know for a lot of people, you look at the DSTV Prem and you're like, guys, are you still that excited? Because every season, Mamelodi Sundowns runs away with it. They've just recently run away with it for the 7th consecutive time. But it's still exciting for me, you know, to see what the teams that are from position 2 downwards are doing to try and close that gap on Mamelodi Sundowns. So that's what I always find exciting. But also because I also work on the Moegoe Foundation Championship to see the teams that are coming into the DSTV Prem as well. So for me, I'm always excited by the end of the season for both leagues. As much as I enjoy the break because, you know, it's going to give us the Euros. I'm just always excited by the ending of the 2 leagues.
Now, before I jump on to like DSTV Premiership, we just touched on the fact that you cover the British Moegoe Championship, and we're going to have a new face next season. I mean, are you excited at the fact that it's a team that like, nobody's really like seen them play, what's happening. They'll be new within the league. Of course, we watch them in the national division, but we've never seen them in the DSTV Prem, and it's a new phase.
This is their 2nd season in the Moegoe Foundation Championship. So for them to have gotten from a position of finishing 12th last season to this time actually gaining automatic promotion, I think Coach Clinton Larson has done a phenomenal job. Fortunately, I was actually at the stadium yesterday when they were promoted. And I got to talk to Coach Clinton, and he was talking about how over the 15 months of being there, the one thing he has appreciated from the team is that he has had carte blanche, basically. Team management has allowed him to restructure the team how he thinks it needs to be restructured. And that's allowed them to actually just quietly go about their business. I mean, I know at the beginning of the season, everyone, myself included, was looking at Orbit College because they were the new kids on the block. They were at the top of the log for the longest time. And everyone was like, wait, are they going to do the unthinkable of gaining promotion and then gaining promotion again into the DSTV Prem? And then after that, they switched roles with Tux, and everyone was like, okay, is this the season where Tux is going to finally get that automatic promotion? Because they've been the bridesmaid for so many seasons where you're the bridesmaid but never the bride. Are you finally going to get that automatic promotion? And yeah, Magesi was like, no, hold on, we're coming. And we're going to take this. And they've done exactly that.
No, you're right. I mean, I just love the fact that, like you said, it's 2 seasons. I mean, the one season you're finishing, underneath the 10th position, and now all of a sudden you find yourself within the league. It's kind of like an incredible story, what they will bring next season. But another thing that happened over the weekend that was a focus was the Nedbank Cup, and they were heading off to the final. For you, did we get the final that South Africa wanted, basically?
Oh, most definitely. I do believe that we got the final that South Africa is looking for. Orlando Pirates, defending champions. And the nice thing about Orlando Pirates is that when you look at how they have performed this season, yes, there was a point after the AFCON where they were sort of up and down, but I like what Coach Jose Rivero has done with the team. They play beautiful football. They play fast-paced football. They play a football that you're like, you know what? I actually, even as a neutral, I can enjoy watching the football. And of course, coming up against the current DStv Premiership champions, which is Mamelodi Sundowns, there's that hanging question when it comes to these two. If there is any team next season that can stop Mamelodi Sundowns, will it be Orlando Pirates, right? So now to see them going up against each other on the 1st of June, I believe the final is.
Yes, it is.
So that's going to be very entertaining to see at the very end of everything. Is Orlando Pirates at the point where they are closing that gap? Because now when you watch them together, this is where you're actually going to see it. Are they capable of closing that gap come next season or not? So I'm very much excited about this one.
No, man, I won't lie. Even me personally, I am also excited. It's arguably two of the best teams within the country. But I wanted to ask you this, right? So the one guy's got the league title, and that's all he has at the moment. Was knocked out of the CAF Champions League semi-finals, and as well, he's got the AFL as well. I mustn't forget about that. Coach Rulani, and as well didn't win the Carling knockout. Now, on the other hand, you have a guy that already has an MTNA trophy but did not compete for the league and got knocked out early in the Champions League, which is the Spanish guitar, Jose Rivero. Between the two coaches, who do you think needs this trophy more?
Oh, that's a difficult one.
It is, huh?
Oh my gosh, that is such a hard one. But I would say, as a neutral, I would say Orlando Pirates, purely because I think when it comes to Mamelodi Sundowns, as much as their fans want them to go and do Operation Dudula, at the end of the day, I still feel as though for Mamelodi Sundowns, it is all about continental football, trying to get that elusive Champions League title that seems to, run away every time since they last won it. So I think for them, it would be nice to win, but it's not going to be as big a deal for them as it would be for Orlando Pirates. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because also for Mamelodi Sundowns, they now have the Club World Cup to contend with next season as well. So for them, it's like, yeah, we see the domestic stuff, but we have bigger fish to fry. And in me saying that, I'm in no way diminishing local cup competitions.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that for Mamelodi Sundowns, they've now positioned themselves as that team that now wants to compete on the continent and wants to compete on the world football stage.
No, I totally hear that. And, I've got two remaining questions. I want to get off the pitch and I want to focus on you and also give you a little bit of your flowers. So I think you're more like a central defensive midfielder on the field. So not necessarily is someone going to see you, but a team can control a game because they have a Rodri in the side, like a Manchester City or something, or a Rice. So basically what I'm trying to say about you, Mpho, is you've been on screen for such a long time, screen, radio, and you've basically been where people would love to be. And you've been there for such a very long time. Like, I can't underestimate how long you've been there. Yeah. From your end, when you look at the next generation that is coming, do you think we're ready? Do you think we know the magnitude? Because like you said, you've been doing it for over 20 years and that's crazy.
I do think we are ready. It's a bit of a tricky one. Yeah. There are games that I look at already that I'm like, oh, that one is going to be big. Because for me, I think people, once they understand that to be in front of the camera or behind the mic, or even what you are doing, Shakes, it takes a lot of homework. It's not like you just wake up and you say, oh, I want to talk about Pirates today.
Yeah.
You go out and you do your research and you sort of understand what it is that you are talking about. So already I do see a couple of people that I think are going to be exceptional in the future. I don't want to mention any names, but I do think South African football is definitely in good hands, or South African sports media in its entirety. I do think it is in good hands. And also, with what you are doing, Shakes, as podcasters and vloggers, I do think the space that you guys are sitting in is taking South African broadcast media to another level. You get to do what television and radio cannot do as easily as traditional media. So you bring in a different element to the game. And I think traditional media and digital media can coexist and work so beautifully together. So I'm loving the trajectory that sports broadcasting is taking.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see what happens once the likes of us retire from the foreground and go into the background.
Amazing. Well, I have to say, man, you've just always been so consistent, man. And I think that's just, it's a lot of credit to you and how you do it, because, some of us, we started recording and doing videos about 5-6 years ago. And then you listen to like Mpho and you're like, she's been at this for over 2 decades. So now you're like, okay, Shakes, we got a way to go. We still got another 15 years to go before we can even talk, So I just want to say thank you so much for.
No, come on. There are people like yourself who, when you speak, we listen, because you have proven yourself to be a credible voice. So it's not always just about the years, because you could be here for many, many, many years, but not have had an impact in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So even though you've been here for 5 years, like you say, you have had an impact on the game. I mean, I look forward to hearing your analysis every time a game has played. After the game, I want to hear what Shakes has to say. So you've positioned yourself in that particular way. So please don't look down upon yourself ever.
Hey, you know what, man? I say thank you so much. I'm smiling from ear to ear, but I just also want to just say that I respect you. I respect the way you respect the craft itself, and I only wish you the best. And I don't want you to retire anytime soon. So keep doing what you're doing, keep inspiring, and thank you so much for being a guest on Playing the Field with Shakes.
Thank you so much. I'm 43. I have to retire at some point, but you open up the industry.
How? 43? I thought you were 29.
Oh, please. But I will not be lost to the game, though. When I do retire, I would like to go behind the scenes. So I will definitely be somewhere behind the scenes. And thank you so much for having me. I really do appreciate this.
Who was up to par and who became our star? But also, who fell short in this game we all love? Let's find out on Mokgo of the Week.
The star of the week goes to an unsung hero, Gabelo Dlamini, Orlando Pirates midfielder. Yep, the brace over the weekend against Chippa, sweet free kick. This guy was patient this whole time. Now he's grabbing his opportunities. Now he's in the starting 11 of Orlando Pirates. Man, I'm so happy for you. You're the star of the week on Playing the Field with Shakes. The Mokgo. Now, this one was hard to pick. I'm not sure if it was like that hard, to be fair, right? Because I looked at Orlando Pirates performed well. I thought Chippa did really well. I thought Stellenbosch did really well. And I thought also Sundowns did really well too. But then if they all did well, and it was only the Nedbank Cup that was on show, then who's the Mokgo of the week? I'm going to have to go a few days earlier in midweek, when Sundowns and Chiefs played against one another. Given Smango. Spiwe. Nah. Being the last man and you make a challenge like that, and I know you guys had me on social media going on about, oh, but Shakes, you missed the Clockwork challenge. I didn't miss the Clockwork challenge. Abongile Tom let it go. Now, if he let it go, Smango, you are an experienced defender, center back. You decide to make that tackle on Ribeiro when you're the last man. It was always going to be a red card. And because of you, Chiefs got a 5. Got a Chisampam. Slept with a sore heart. And I'll gladly give you this award. Mokgo of the Week.
It's time for Bet of the Week. Get ready to win big by placing the right bets on the right games.
On this week's Bet of the Week, I'm going nice and simple. Just 5 games, odds of 5.6. PSG against Dortmund, I've gone both teams to score. Real Madrid against Bayern Munich, I've gone Real Madrid overall winner. Atalanta against Marseille, over 1.5. Bayer Leverkusen against Roma, over 1.5. And last but not least, Olympiacos going up against Aston Villa. I think both teams are definitely going to score. Don't tell me about the DStv Premiership. I know they're playing tonight too, but I'm not in the mood to predict DStv Premiership games. It's unpredictable at this moment, and I ain't doing it. I'm not doing it. But if you want to win with me on this current bet slip, click on the link below.
Remember to practice responsible betting at betway.co.za.
Guys, I'm not happy. I'm not happy. The season ends in a few weeks. It's done. Yo, I can't believe it. Where did the time go? But thanks for joining me tonight. You gotta go watch some Champions League and some DStv Premiership. Before you do, go like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you're notified for future episodes. The season's done in 2 weeks.